like, and subscribe. I want to talk about indulging in things that we know is not good for us. Sometimes we sit up there and we will what I call a cookout. That means a place where there is lots of meat, lots and lots of meat. Places where there are different kinds of foods to choose from. Would you still indulge in that meat just because you're having a good time? Would you eat a burger that is not vegan if you're vegan? Would you eat pork if you didn't eat pork? Because that meat may look good, but don't compromise who you are. Don't compromise your well being. Ask questions. Don't just go into something blindsided. Continue to look and make sure that it's something you indulge in. You know what you like, you know what kind of meat you like. But sometimes meat you like may not be good for you. Make sure you understand that the meat you're looking for, the meat that you're going to indulge in, and I'm really talking about relationship just for anybody by chance who is confused, like meat, huh? What? No, I'm talking about relationships. Meat. When you meet somebody, the meat you indulge in, the meat, kind of meat that you want to continue to have, a meat you want to invest in. It is not healthy to eat things just because other people are around and you feel like it's an event and somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, I would really like to meet you. I want to know who you are." But say, for example, this guy's had bad breath and you're talking to them and the bad breath is due to something that cannot be changed. And I'm sorry for anybody that has bad breath. Would you kiss that person? Would you open mouth kiss that person? Would you, because that's what you need to think about before you involve yourself in a relationship. How is that person going to be a part of your life, in every part of your life, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, psychologically, intimately? How is that person going to be in your life? How's that person going to affect your life? Are they going to be good for you? Are they going to be financially stable? Or are they going to drain you? That's not healthy. A relationship should not be complex. It should not be. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are issues in every relationship. But in a relationship, if there's issues, you need to understand your walk with God. You need to make sure that it is somebody that you're in a relationship with, somebody that you and that person can communicate and they're not always downing you when you say you're part of the communication or saying how you feel, or they're not degrading you or making you feel that you're wrong about everything and they're right. It should never be a situation where they are cutting you off. It should never be degrading. It should never be um, physical violence. It should never be spiritual, mental, physical, mentally, emotionally abusive or financially abusive. Uh, if you guys are not on the same page and you guys cannot talk about how things can change, boundaries, if that person is not isolating you from your family and friends, that's not healthy. If that person's isolating you, that is unhealthy. If overly jealous, every relationship has jealousy, but over jealous where you cannot even look at a person in the car next to you without that person saying, "Why are you looking at him?" Or "Why are you looking at her? What are you doing? Why? What?" If there's always questioning your about, that's overly jealous. And if it's not something that's fixed, overly jealous can lead to abuse. It can lead to all sorts of unhealthy future things. So before you ever get into a relationship, try to recognize, number one, you shouldn't be quickly indulging in anything. Just like with chicken that may look good, if it's served to you at a restaurant, you're not just going to bite it, look at it and observe it to make sure that everything is okay, inside and out, around the plate, your utensils, your drinks that you're drinking. If you ask for vegan, you should make sure that that is vegan. You should look into it. Whatever you order, you should look and make sure that it is right. Well, that is the same with relationships. You know, when you meet somebody, you shouldn't immediately go and be intimate with them. When you meet someone, you should not immediately decide you want to move in with them. When you meet somebody, don't invite them to your house immediately. And definitely don't go to their house. Let it be somewhere open so that you're not hurting yourself or somebody's not getting hurt by that. Investigate, ask questions, don't compromise. Don't lie about who you are just because that person likes you. There's a lot of things that people do that can convince, manipulate, or change someone. Don't let that be you. Don't let that person do that to you. Everybody has something that they need to change about themselves. But if it is something that somebody is stepping over your boundaries, something that you know you definitely don't do, that is a no no that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. There's no reason for that. And by chance, if you do end up in a bad situation, a bad relationship, don't feel like you have to stay there. You can get out. You can get out quickly. Not only can you get out, you need to throw out the bad meat. Make sure that you empty the trash. Make sure it's completely and fully gone. No more. You don't have to deal with this by yourself. It's not an alone thing. You're not alone. Not alone. It may be embarrassing. It may be uncomfortable, but there's always somebody. Even if you don't have family or friends or anyone, there's always a number or something that you can call. You know, I will leave a number at the bottom under description. Make sure you recognize your mistakes, because if you don't recognize your mistakes, you're going to keep doing that the next person that comes along, and the next person you see, and the next person you indulge in, the next meat you decide to smell or look at. Recognize your mistakes. Recognize there's always more than one mistake, so don't just look at it as one thing. Not only is it that person the bad meat, somewhere along the way you had some tartness in you. You had some rawness in you. You had something in you that caused you to want to indulge in that. For example, if you didn't look at the meat before, like if you're gonna eat meat at a restaurant, and you did not look at that before, and you just indulged it and took a quick bite, you may need to slow down. You may need to not feel insecure. You may need to not feel lonely or figure out how to not make your loneliness choose the wrong people in your life. There's so many things that need to be corrected when we indulge in meat that looks good on the outside but is half cooked, and that can cause anxiety, stress, financial burdens, depression, mental, emotional, physically, spiritual, financial, psychological issues. Don't let it affect your future, your well-being, a cruel-free life, a life that's not compromised. The complexity is not there. You can do it. There are so many ways to look and choose so that you're not indulging in the wrong meat. Also, what I wanted to say is sometimes getting out of relationships have to be a little bit more safe. If you feel that you are in a relationship and you cannot just leave, or you cannot just get rid of that person because you're in an unsafe situation, there is a phone number that you can call. You know, I will leave a number on my YouTube at the bottom under description, because no one needs to be in an unsafe relationship, and no one needs to feel like they can't leave, or if they leave, they will be harmed. It's kind of sad, but it's true. Life is life, and keep on living. Please like and subscribe.